So let's sit comfortably with our back straight. We're not starting the Footsoak just yet, but we'll first get into a state of becoming more aware of ourselves. Let's close our eyes, bring our attention inward. Let's try to feel our sensations, the sensations on our hands. Let's watch our breathing. Now, as we always do, we will begin by raising the Kundalini 3 times and balancing the 2 sides 7 times, because there are 7 chakras. So you can watch me. If you're doing this for the first time, the left hand, it goes up from just the bottom of the stomach all the way up to the top of the head, and the right hand wraps around it like this, from the back over to the front, under to the back, and all the way around. So we keep doing this. We bring up this energy to the top of the head and tie a knot to establish the energy over the head. Similarly, second time, we tie 2 knots, and the third time, 3 knots. Let's do this with nice and slow, free-flowing hand motions. Let's enjoy this process. Let's try to keep the attention on the energies. Then we balance the 2 sides. Bring the right hand near the left hip. Raise the energy of the left channel. Arch it over your head. Bring it all the way down to the right. And then back, raising the right energy down to the left. This is for the first chakra. We'll do this 6 more times. Second, the third chakra in the stomach, the fourth in the heart. These are our auras, so we're balancing our auras. The fifth in the throat, base of the throat. The sixth behind the forehead. And finally, the 7th over the head. At the top of the head, sorry. You can just bring the right hand a few inches over the head to see how you're feeling. You know, if you're feeling a slightly cool or a warm breeze, you know, what's it like right now? And you can check the other hand as well. So before we, Footsoak is almost ready, and I just need to put some salt into the water. Now, before we put our feet into the water, we're going to use our vibrations that we are already experiencing, you know, flowing through our hands, and direct that energy into the water so that the Footsoak apparatus becomes a better instrument, charged with these vibrations to absorb the any negative energies in us. So we'll make clockwise hand motions with the right hand, directing it towards the water. Let's keep our attention at the top of the head so that the vibrations flow. We would like the qualities of the sea, the ocean, to be represented here, because of the sea has the power to take away, to absorb our any negative energies from us. Now we can place both the feet inside the water. We'll place both hands on our laps, palms facing upwards. Keep them open. Looking at, if you have Sri Mataji's photograph, you can look at her, because her photograph is a source of vibrations. So you will feel a better flow. Now, let's place the right hand towards the earth and just let it hang by your side. And let's feel a connection with Mother Earth. We are reaching out to her, not just with our hand, but in our heart. For all the protection that she provides, for sustaining our life, all life on earth. And we make an appeal to her, Mother, please clear out, please cleanse my first chakra, the Mula Dhara chakra. Mula means root, Dhara means support. So this chakra is the root and the support of the entire subtle system. This is the chakra on which the Kundalini rests. And the main qualities of this chakra are of innocence, purity, wisdom, so, oh Mother, please awaken these qualities in me. Please enlighten my Muladhara chakra. Please awaken this chakra is the root of the left channel as well, the left energy channel. called as the Ida Nadi. So we also appeal to Mother Earth. Mother, please clear out my left energy channel. Please take away any influences from my past that prevent me from truly being in the present, feeling the joy of the present. And notice if you start to feel a difference on the left hand. If you're feeling any tingling or heaviness on that left hand, left palm, is it reduced now? Is there more of a flow on the left hand? Any of this indicates that this clearing is happening. Sometimes it just needs a little bit more time. We are not trying to make anything happen on our own with our own conscious effort. This is completely effortless. We are just surrendering to the elements, to the divine energy, to do its work upon us. So the more relaxed, the more surrendered we are, the better it works. Mother, let me feel the joy of the Spirit. And let that joy, that energy run through my entire left channel. We can bring the right hand back on our lap. We'll now proceed to clear the right energy channel by pointing the left hand towards the sky. So we just need to lift the left arm at the elbow, point it towards the sky. And here we invoke the power of the sky, the ether element, and the air element, appealing that all the heat from the right channel be taken away. The left hand is kind of like a chimney now, like an exhaust. All our conscious effort, thinking, planning, worrying about the future, all of this creates heat on the right side, which is the side of action, which is side orienting towards the future. So we let go of the need to think, the need to worry, by surrendering. Please cool down my right energy channel, the Pingala Nadi. Please reduce my thinking, reacting, worrying, analyzing, doubting. Let me become calm. Let my attention become calm, silent, and steady. Let it become subtle. Again, you might start to feel a difference on the right hand. More coolness or less heaviness, less tingling, more of a flow. We can also say, I am not the doer. Because we tend to be identified with all our thoughts and actions. But if we are free of that illusion that we are doing anything, then the right energy channel completely relaxes. Through us and without us. So let's not be identified with anything. Even this clearing process, even this meditation. You can bring the hand down. Let's keep our attention at the top of our head. The Sahasrara Chakra. Let's place the right hand across the forehead. pressing gently on both sides of the head. And say, I forgive. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I forgive all my thoughts. Let's place the hand behind the head, the right hand. Lean our head backwards. And ask the Almighty, please forgive me if I have made any mistake, knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive me. Please forgive all of my past. Please forgive. Can bring our hand back. Continue meditating with our attention at the top for a couple of minutes. We can now conclude the Footsoak session. So we'll remove our feet one by one, rinse it over the water, and take it out. Don't put your feet back in the water after you rinse. You can dry your feet if you have a towel next to you. And let's take a couple of minutes to go and dispose this water in the toilet and come back and sit for meditation for the rest of the session. So we'll see you in 2 minutes. If you're all back, let's just sit either on the floor, or if you're more comfortable on the chair, that's fine. So let's sit relaxed, keeping our back straight. And let's enjoy this state now after the Footsoak. If you're feeling more relaxed from inside, that's quite normal. And usually there is certain freshness, a better flow that you experience on your hands and over your head when you sit down for meditation after the Footsoak. Just like we take a shower and we feel fresh, this is kind of a shower or a bath for our subtle system. So the theme for today's meditation is discretion. We've talked about various other chakras and their qualities over the previous weeks. But there is one chakra other than the 7 main chakras called as the Hamsa. Hamsa in Sanskrit means swan. And a swan, it is said, can suck. When there's a mixture of water and milk, it can draw out the water from the milk, or the milk from the water. I don't know which one it is, but the swan has the ability to separate milk from water. So the metaphor is, or the analogy is the ability for us to see good from bad, right from wrong, true from false, especially in today's world, which is so complex, so much more gray than what it used to be, when things are so much more mixed up. So, and that quality, we know it as discretion, the ability to sort through what is good for our ascent and what is not. So this, there is actually a sub-center, sub-chakra, right here between the eyebrows. It is actually a sub-chakra of the 5th center, the Vishuddhi. And the quality that this chakra, the Hamsa chakra, gives us is of discretion, of good judgment. And there are many ways in which we can develop this quality, this center in us, and also maintain it. One is to, of course, have confidence in our own judgment. We are now, other than our own intuition and good judgment, we are also now blessed with this state of vibrations. So vibrations can tell us whether something is right or not for us. So the more we use it in our everyday, decision making, the better we get at it, the better our discretionary qualities become. So we just have to, in my experience, I have found that vibrationally I feel something is right, or I need to go a certain way in life or take a certain step. Even if I haven't worked it out analytically through my rational mind, I often back myself to follow through with that feeling that I have. And it turns out to be the right decision. Difficulties come up, but that's okay, because it is a learning process. It is a process of, life go in straight lines, right? The river is like a river that keeps meandering, so the path keeps changing. So discretion definitely helps us to traverse these complex paths. So let's listen to a talk by Sri Mataji where she describes the qualities of the center and how to maintain it. She also mentions, as you will see, that it lies slightly outside the path of the Kundalini. All of the other chakras can be awakened, enlightened, nourished, corrected by the Kundalini itself. But this chakra lies slightly outside the path, in front. So we need to help this at the physical level. We need to help it with certain methods, which she describes, such as applying ghee, or that is clarified butter, and other ways to lubricate the lining inside this area. That's at the physical level. So let's listen to the talk, and then we'll come back and reflect on it meditatively.
Hamsa chakra stands between Vishuddhi and Agya, as you can see clearly positioned like that. But from Vishuddhi, there are many nerves which pass through Hamsas and end up here. They don't all go to the brain. Or we can say that at this time, at this point, all our reactions, which are what you call reflex reactions, finish off. So, supposing now I get some dirty smell, I'll close my nose like that. Or if I can't hear, I'll just pull my ears like this. Or if I see something dirty, or if I see something jarring, my eyes will close automatically. If somebody tries to put a pin through me, immediately I'll spontaneously. It's all built in within my system and your system too, that you react with reflex action. Same thing may not happen to animals. Animals are different. Some animals have certain reflex actions, some have some reflex actions. But we are different, and our reflex actions, we are all practically just the same. There's not much individuality. There isn't much difference in our reflex actions. At the most, with conditioning, somebody might say, yeah, somebody might say, oh, somebody may say something. That's different. But the reflex actions are just the same. So up to the reflex action, we don't have to use discretion. Then starts our discretion part. As discretion starts when we are using these two nadis which meet here without going to the Agya. So when these two nadis meet here, what happens? We start seeing through our experiences. First would be a reflex action, automatic reflex action. The second is when, supposing a child, if you tell the child, now this is hot, don't put your hand there, he won't listen. Put the child with the experience, he will develop reflex actions, the conditionings of it. So thus reflexes are built in within us. Also, they are built in within us with, we should say, with other conditionings like, you see, in a country, supposing there's racialism, or in a country like ours, there's a caste system. Then person react according to what they have learned from childhood. All these conditionings could be of the present day when you are born. You could have been yourself born in last life in, say, Africa. Today you are born with a white skin, so you have started sort of calling that African, you have become. All these conditionings can be built in into your Hamsa Chakra, which have come from your training of the mind. You can see the experiences of the mind, the experiences of the society, of your knowledge, of your education, the way you are conditioned can be built in here, in the Hamsa Chakra. And it reacts to things which has no meaning. If you I hate someone, why? Because that person wears a blue jean or something, or you can say a green shirt. Now this is built in your mind. Or sometimes this falling in love also comes from the same kind of a conditioning. Supposing you had met somebody who had, say, blue eyes and was kind to you. So you have fascination for a person who has blue eyes. There's no pure idea about beauty, there's no pure idea of happiness, there's no pure idea of aesthetics. All is conditioned. For some people this is beautiful, for somebody this is not beautiful. So this is the place where these interchanges take place between both the nadis. And here the Hamsa lies outside the path of Kundalini. They sort of come out here, out of the path of Kundalini. It's very surprising. Then you see yourself that, oh, I'm very egoistical. You start seeing yourself through your agya. Start seeing that I'm so conditioned. So you reason it out. And that's how you correct your conditionings. This is what is Hamsa Chakra. So Hamsa Chakra cannot be done if just you are a realized soul, but is an effect, is the symptom of your Kundalini awakening. Some people think that you develop discretion just as the Kundalini rises. Is that wrong idea? No. That has to be deliberately seen, that you build up that discretion within yourself. But once it is built, for example, my discretion is absolute. I just know what it is. See, my conditioning here is absolute. It's one with the Kundalini, one with reality. But for human beings, it has to be reflected by understanding. Like a child, he touches something hot, then it is hot. Now, this is hot because it's heated up. So you see a person is catching on the right heart. Right, he's catching on the right heart means he has got a right heart and he is suffering from such and such thing. You have to see it yourself. Now, if you tell the person, are you suffering from, say, asthma? He said, yes. How do you know? I know it because I've learnt it through my finger, which was burning. That's why I know it is. So, what I have to say that physically you should help your Hamsa Chakra by using ghee and all that. And mentally you should use it by learning things. In experience, what to do, how to do it, how to work it out, how to establish. Basa. That is how Hamsa Chakra grows. And makes you discreet. That's why a tradition is very important. Tradition gives you the growth of the Hamsa chakra. And then you go on discarding whatever is wrong out of that tradition. Then again, you keep whatever is good. You give it to your children, to your children, to your children. So the discretion comes to a person who is traditionally built up better than a person who has no traditions. Now, for example, this morning I was discussing that people fill the wash basin and wash their face in the West. In India, we cannot conceive, cannot even think of it. I mean, people don't know it can be done. Because in traditional way, it has come out that if you're washing your face and again your water goes into there, then all the dirt is in it, again you're using the same water. So you cannot have complete. So always use running water. Traditionally, we've learnt it. So it's so much in our heads, in our discretion, that we cannot even think of such a thing. Auspiciousness is another thing. Is so much imbibed in the tradition. But if you have a tradition, say, of doing things which are absurd, also you can have traditions like that. Like very primitive people have all kinds of traditions which are very absurd. I was told that if you go to Ladakh, what they do, somebody dies, then keep the hand of the dead person in the house all the time like that. They think that that helps. But with tradition, which is wrong, by discarding that, they will understand is wrong. So the more traditional you are, the ancient you are, you learn many things. Like we have to say, English are in a way traditional. So supposing there's a lady coming down and you are coming with a lady, then the man will be in front automatically. He'll just move. But if she's going up, then man will follow her. Just happens automatically. Because traditionally they have learned that if you are going down, the lady may fall or something, so we should be in front. So what you call as the traditional habits of person gives you this Hamsa. And these habits are built better and better with trial and error methods. And that's how you develop it.
So, this chakra is not represented in the subtle system diagram that we usually have, that we usually share here, with all the other 7 chakras. But it is a very important chakra in our growth, in our evolution. And it is something that we develop, as Shri Mataji said, with our own, with trial and error, really. With looking at what our traditions have taught us, what we need to discard going forward, and how we can renew and rejuvenate those traditions as we pass them down to our next generations. See how we're feeling on our hands. First of all, let's keep our attention at the top of our head. And now let's notice how we're feeling on our hands. What fingers are showing some sort of tingling sensations near the fingertips? Which ones have some numbness? Sensations on your palm. Does one hand feel lighter or heavier than the other? As Muhammad Sahib in Islam, the Prophet of Islam, has said, at the time of Qiyamah, it is the time of resurrection, our hands will start to speak to us. Which means when we get our self-realization, when our spirit is resurrected, we start feeling and expressing in this new language of every chakra is represented on a certain finger. That's how our subtle system and the nervous system are set up. So by looking at our sensations around our hands, we can know which chakra within us needs some balancing or needs some extra energy, extra flow of the Kundalini. Or if an entire side, the left or the right, needs some additional energy or some additional clearing. So we can always use the elements for this balancing process. If you're feeling a general heaviness, or if the left hand feels a little bit heavier than the right, or feels less of a flow, feels more kind of like a deadpan, then you can place the right hand on the floor or towards the floor and do what we did during the Footsoak. Invoke the power of the earth element to clear the left side. Let go of your past. Dissolve unnecessary heavy emotions or any other influences from your subconscious. For the left side, we can also use the candle treatment, which may have been touched upon in previous sessions, and we'll look at it again later in another session. But I'll very quickly show the candle treatment. So the fire element, just like the earth element, is also very good for the left side. So we just keep the flame in front of the I'm just keeping the candle in front of my left hand when I sit to meditate. So the light from the flame passes through the left hand into the left channel. And we find it as a very effective way to clear out the left side. Similarly, if you're feeling what we call as a catch on a particular center, a chakra, then you can bring the flame near that chakra and give it a bandhan. So just as we balance the chakras around our body at the beginning and end of the meditation, we can do like a mini bandhan just around that particular chakra. So for instance, if your left pointer finger, index finger, is tingling or you feel some sort of a pull, then that finger corresponds to the left Vishuddhi chakra, which is the fifth center here. One of the reasons that this center can get caught up is because of any feeling of guilt, whether it's conscious or sometimes subconscious, you're not even aware of it. So you can just bring this flame. Let me just. So you can just bring this flame near the left Vishuddhi and give it a bandhan like this. Or you can also just move it in a clockwise direction like this. But you're allowing the light of the flame into that chakra on the left side. The flame should only be used for the left side, not for the right side. So that's how we can use these elements to clear the chakra depending on the side. Now, if you're feeling, let's say the right Vishuddhi, because of the right, you feel the tingling on the right pointer finger, then you can simply place the left hand on the right Vishuddhi like this and keep your attention at the top of your head so that the vibrations flow and the cooling energy of the left channel balances out the right side of this chakra. So you can do this with other chakras as well. If you're feeling tingling on the right thumb or the right middle finger, then it corresponds to the second and third centers. The thumb for the second center and the middle finger for the third center. So if it's on the right side, it means that either of these fingers could mean that there's a lot of thinking going on. Your mind is basically active. It could be because of work, because of other pressures sometimes in life that make us very active. But you just place the left hand on the right side of your stomach and meditate, allowing the liver to cool down. Because the liver, which is just below the rib cage, is the seat of attention. If the liver is disturbed, then our attention can be disturbed. We've also talked about the ice pack treatment before. So another way to cool down the liver, cool down the attention, is to take a freeze pack or an ice pack and place it on the liver. So just below the rib cage on the right side. Keep it there for 5 to 10 minutes and then take it out, and you should feel a difference. This tingling on the right thumb and right middle finger should go away, and you start to feel calmer. Sometimes if I'm having very busy days, I can have a problem sleeping through the night because my mind is active. I fall asleep, but then I wake up in the middle. So, but on those days, I keep an ice pack on my liver for about 10 minutes before falling asleep. And then invariably that helps me sleep through because it cools down my attention. My mind becomes less active. So it can help improve sleep quality as well. So if we can bring up the subtle system chart. Or we can just continue meditating for a couple more minutes because we're almost at time. So let's just close our eyes and keep our attention at the top of our head. Let's just be in that witness state. If any thought comes, just let it go. Don't try to avoid it. Don't try to build on it. Don't do anything with it. Don't be identified with it. And tell yourself, I am not this thought. I am the pure spirit. I am in that absolute reality. We can conclude today's meditation by once again raising the Kundalini 3 times, tying knots over the head to establish the Kundalini, and then balancing our chakras one by one. And we can bring our right hand over our head as we did at the very beginning. See how we're feeling now. Check with both the right and the left hand and see if you feel the difference from before. We can slowly open our eyes. Thank you all for joining today and hope you had a good meditation. If you have any questions, please feel free to share.
Hi, I hope, you're gonna put the recording in a WhatsApp group. Yes, you will get the recording.
Thank you. Great session, Rahulji. It's an excellent session. I have been attending you like 21 days. Both the 21 days I have attended, but this session was giving me some more opportunity to learn as well as some new words and like since everything coming from your subconscious mind. So like every session is different, and this session really an excellent session. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.